Hello there, I'm Scotty, you're not. Welcome back to Halloween Horror Month, and today we take a look at Bring It On, Cheer or Die. Look, I know, I know, I know. Here's the thing. This is not in my usual cup of tea. I'm not a big Bring It On fan. I've seen a little bit of the first one when it was on TBS after something else was on before it. I think my folks were watching The Big Bang Theory and it came on after it. That's it, the beginning of that. I haven't seen any of the other ones. I don't really care to. I saw this in a $5 bin at Walmart and I thought, I'm trying to be a little bit stupid this year for Halloween Horror Month, have a little fun. This could be just the amount of stupid I'm looking for. And you know what? Yeah. It is a slasher take on the Bring It On movies. But it's PG-13. And that is going to be the biggest problem I have with this movie. Now, I immediately thought when I saw this, oh, it's an all-female-led film. There's some male characters in here, but it's PG-13. Are they gonna do like the Black Christmas remake? No. It is not a female empowerment bullshit. Yes, there are some, they fight back, but it's not that kind of, it's actually kind of straightforward in a way. It's a straightforward slasher film. The whole reason for why it's going on is very straightforward. Although I have issues with casting, because this feels like casting these kind of actors or actresses, whatever, to fill out a quota, and then, but yeah, that's the biggest negative I can give this movie, is that it's PG-13, because there are some decent ideas for kills. Running someone over, getting an axe to the back, beating someone over the head with something. There's decent ideas for the way that people are getting killed. Someone gets Stu Macher to death, TV put on their head, but it cuts away. Every time that you think, oh, this could be a decent kill, if they didn't cut away from it. And here's the thing. This was made for the Sci-Fi Channel. So in theory, you could have made this rated R and then cut it out for the sci-fi version. But this is PG-13. Very clearly made to be PG-13. Why? Why would you do a slasher film and make it PG-13? Was there a mandate? Was there that they thought, hey, we could try to make this rated R, but then there was a mandate? No, it's Bring It On. It has to be PG-13. Is that the whole thing? The way I looked at all of them, I think they're all PG-13. So, is that the mandate? Oh, to Bring It On movie has to be PG-13. Bullshit. Make it rated R. That's my biggest complaint in this, is that it should have been rated R. There could have been a lot. Even it feels like they're holding back swearing. We're gonna kick your butt. I'm like, PG-13, say ass. I mean, come on. Even at PG-13 you can say ass, but don't kick your butt. And it's just like, when they say something, it's like, no, you could have said this, and it just doesn't feel right. I don't think anything was edited. This is just definitely made to be PG-13, but it just doesn't work. The plot, okay? The plot involves this group of cheerleaders. Their school had an incident 20 years earlier, which would be 2002. So, around the time the second one came out or something? I don't know. Anyway, they're not connected to the other ones, by the way. It's more like for as far as I can tell from all the trailers I've seen of these, and from the Fast and the Furious movies or other Universal movies that I'd rather watch, it's like an anthology film series because each one is from a different school. So, there's an incident 20 years earlier where one of the cheerleaders died during a routine. And so now, 20 years later, the school principal, who is later revealed to be the twin sister of the girl that died, she doesn't want anyone to do any kind of flips or jumps or anything, which is probably why they haven't won for the last 20 years, because they don't do anything, or however long this has happened. And we find out that the school was actually relocated, and so these cheerleaders, they go to practice at the old school, and they start to get killed off. There are 3 male cheerleaders. Mateo, which I actually kind of liked. He's obviously the gay character, but I liked him. I liked it. They find a kill list or a slay list, and they're going through the names, and then later, wait, she's the badass or whatever it was, and he's like, wait, am I the pretty blonde? He's not even blonde. I just couldn't tell in that light, but I thought it was funny. And there's a silent Stu who only says one thing when he screams, "Bring it on," which of course, you have to say one thing, let it be the title of a freaking movie, right? They also say "Cheer or Die" once. I did a Peter Griffin thing. I said "Cheer or Die." I'm like, so that's why they call it dead. And then there's like, "Bring it on." He said it. He said it. You know. And then the other one is Quincy, and he's the pothead, and he dies pretty quick in the movie. He's like the 4th person to die. I'm an issue with his death because there are 2 other people there who see him get killed, and they're like, "Is he making out with the window?" Like, really? You can't tell he just got attacked? And when this irked me. So our main character, Abby. Our main character is Abby. She's the cheer co-captain, I think. And she finds Quincy at one point. He has an axe in his back. He's dying, and he's like, reaching my pocket, and she pulls out the flimsiest looking joint I'd ever seen. This is like rolled up piece of paper. Put it in his mouth, he's like, too late, and he dies, right? Because we can't show him smoking weed if he's either dead, right? Best we get is after effects, like when he comes up, you know. But here, he dies, the axe in his back, and she's like, "Oh," and runs off. I'm like, grab the axe, bitch! Grab the axe, what is wrong with you? And later, she goes back and she grabs, like, you know those big cutters? Those things when they cut papers in school and stuff? Those things, you know? She grabs one of those blades, and I'm like, really? You grabbed that, but you could have grabbed the axe. The axe would probably work better than one of those things. But, yeah, and this person is dressed up in a Diablo. Diablos is the name of the cheer squad. And they... the killer is dressed up in a mascot costume, basically. I didn't understand the first kill here. Like, there's Michaela is like the cheer co-captain, whatever. Seems like she organizes a lot of the stuff, and she's killed off in her house. We never see her parents. Now, first of all, I don't know if it's the idea of using actors that are in their 20s, but there's a scene where they're in the principal's office and the principal's telling them they can't do this stuff. I thought Michaela was the mom because she's older. She's quite a few years older. I think she's in her late 20s, and the actress who plays Abby is in her early 20s. So I thought it was the mother. I know that wouldn't actually happen, but they have had mother characters are only 10 years older than their daughters. You know. But like how Luke Ford was probably not young enough to be Brendan Fraser's son in The Mummy 3, but just kind of looked that away. I think he was like 30, and Brendan Fraser was in his late 40s. So I don't know that. But anyway, but no, he was also a cheerleader, but I don't know, she looked older to me. I don't know. Actually, also, I don't know who the fuck that is, unless that's Tori. She dies pretty quick in the movie, so I think she doesn't understand what a taco and an eggplant means. She keeps sending her boyfriend a taco, and she's like, he just really likes tacos. But he sends her eggplant. She goes, oh, he must like eggplants too. I'm like, That's not what it means. And even later, like, she's like a virgin, and she's like, all, like, you know, she took a vow of celibacy. But, like, later when he shows up, he's like, hey, Tori. I'm like, Tori's dead. Yeah, whatever. Nuh-uh, she's gonna sex with me. She said, no, you know she's a virgin. Like, what? Yeah, she's a virgin. But she sent me a taco. Yeah, she didn't know what that meant. The reveal of who the killers are. Okay, so the build up to this during the killings are kind of stupid at first. Like, Tori, to be honest, I didn't even see how she died. I think she's hanging from a wall or something. I don't know. But the other girl gets put in the toilet, like trying to drown her, but she flushes the toilet and then she gets beaten in the head with something off screen, of course, because you can't see anything. And then you got the axe to the back. Like, first he gets shot with some kind of drug dart. I don't know why. I just didn't go, yeah, and I think he's drugged out because he's a pothead, and then, you know. So, yeah, and then he gets axed, which would be a good idea, but, like, first, and also, why did they axe him and leave the axe in his back? In most movies, most horror films, you'd be like, oh, so that the hero could take it. But like I said, she doesn't take it. So why is it left in his back? Left it there. I mean, once we find out who the killers are, they're not the smartest. They're not the smartest. But, yeah. And then, Abby's ex-boyfriend, Scott, and his friend, the guy who was trying to hook up with Tori, Abby asked him to check up on... Okay, so, to check up on Michaela. So here's the thing. When they get there, when they're on their way there, they look at everyone texting, like, you know what, we have to do something about this. And they take everybody's phone and put it in a bag. And say they can't use their phones. Then they later find their phones in a toilet. And they don't work. So, you may bring any rice? No one bought any rice. But you know how long it takes for that to work? You're gonna be dead before you even get a chance to use it again. Anyway, so the reveal. The reveal, and I didn't even know this, but so we see Abby talking to her cheerleader friend, her black, or I guess I would say mixed race, after the twist. I didn't, you know, you can be mixed race, but, you know, if, I don't know, I can't tell those things with the lightning tones of the skin. I guess if you're light skinned like that, you could be mixed. I'm guessing she's mixed. And then her younger sister went with them. Her younger sister actually suggested this. Her younger sister, Paige, suggested this. It's revealed to be both of them. They're twins, although they look nothing alike. But I looked up, and they are actually twins. I guess they're fraternal. They're fraternal twins. But I didn't realize that the principal was their mom, because their principal was played by Missy Pyle, who is white. Look, I've seen this done so many times before. It's done in Scream. Chad and Mindy are the niece and nephew of Randy Meeks. Now, if no one ever told you that, would you be able to figure that out, that they were related to Randy Meeks, because they're mixed race? I don't like that. Not because they're mixed race, but the fact is, they're doing that to fill a quota, like I said. It makes no sense. Hey, our mom and our aunt, both of them were white, blonde women. To have dark-haired, mixed-race children, it would be one thing if the mom had dark hair and then didn't even know she was white. But it's just, I don't know. When you have, like a blonde-haired woman with two dark-haired mixed-race children. And the fact is, much like with the mixed children, we don't see their dad. So it's like, that's more evidence of they just wanted to fill a quota for multiracial characters in this film. And they have quite a few. Asian, African American. I think Stu is supposed to be a Mexican. He barely speaks and he says one thing and it's hard to tell. I think maybe. But, you know, it frustrates me because your children are supposed to look like you. If you looked at my son, you could say, yeah, he looks like just like his dad. A little bit like his mom. Either they got all of their dad, or they're adopted. Which could be possible. But they never say that. They say it's their mom. That's an easy right around. Say they're adopted. That I would believe. But I don't know. It's very possible. It's very possible for her to give birth to mixed race kids. I just find it would work better if the kids were both blonde and looked like their mom. Because the thing is, up until that moment, didn't even know they were related. That's the issue. Is that we're supposed to believe that they are related, and up to that moment, I'm sure it was mentioned a couple times earlier on in the film, but I didn't catch it. Didn't even think about it. And then when they brought it up, I'm like, wait, what? That's your mom? No, that makes no sense. Again, they were just cast to fill the quota of multiracial characters. That's it. I would believe that Abby is her daughter over those two. Even Michaela. I'm sorry. I just don't believe it. It's cast someone who, if you're going to cast someone's children, cast them to look like the actress or actors you had them playing. You know what I mean? I'm just saying. I mean, you could also say, look at iCarly. Look what they did, all right? Freddie has a stepdaughter. It's his stepdaughter. Now, you know, that works. That works. But they are saying that these are her daughters, blood daughters, and I don't buy it. I'm sorry, I don't buy it. I just don't. Yeah, apparently their yearly camping trips were actually training camps to get revenge. So it turns out that the cheerleader who died 20 years earlier is the twin sister of their mom, the principal. And they have been trained every year since they were kids to train for revenge. And they set this up to kill these cheerleaders who have nothing to do with anything, except for Abby, whose mom was the one who let her fall, I guess. Like, they kept showing it in the flashback, but I still don't believe it's on purpose. It didn't look like it was on purpose. I don't know. I don't know. But there's a whole thing with Scott coming to visit him. And then there's this creepy guy who's following her around who they knew each other since they were kids. And really, all he serves, Scott as well, this creepy guy, Scott, and the Stu are red herrings. Because Stu doesn't talk. Oh, he's creepy, isn't he? And he even disappears at one point, so you might like to believe he's one of them. He's one of the killers, but he's not. I figured out early on there had to be two. Because, like, there's a point where almost everybody else was in there when someone else was getting killed. I'm like, well, okay, so it has to be someone else. But there was two at certain points. Once they split up, stuff happens. I'm like, okay, there could be two. And they show Stu running in, they show Paige running in, they show others. And it's revealed Paige is a part of it, and her sister shows up. You know. Scott shows up to help, but he gets Stu Mockert with the TV. You know. And he's dead. He's dead. So Stu's dead. Drop it. Thank you. Then we just see like the creepy guy hanging there. Like Abby finds his body later, and it's like, okay, he was just there to be a red herring. I was thinking, oh, he could come save the day, because there's the point where, oh, it took long and let him in, and then nothing. There's a thing where we find out that Scott, who, by the way, is still her ex-boyfriend, was going around with Michaela. And I'm like, but they're not actually dating. Because at one point, the creepy guy says, you're not actually going to get back with him. So they're not actually dating, but she gets pissed at him until he gets killed. I don't know. I don't understand that. Like, I don't understand he was trying to get back with her, but technically they weren't together. They were on a break! But, one sister gets killed on the roof. Okay, so I missed something. Because they go to a courtyard, and they said they gotta do this jump up thing. So Abby jumps up, and then the rest of them start going up. But then Abby's back down again, and she's fighting the other chick, one of the sisters. And she takes care of her, she kills her, they go up to the top. And everybody starts going down with the rope, but it shows the rope's going to break. And of course it does, with Abby still up there. So they do the thing where they go out and they catch her. By this point, there's only 5 of them left. And they tease a little relationship between the African-American lady and the blonde. Like there's some kind of attraction. They do end up kissing each other, which I guess reveals that prophecy of them getting together. And, yeah. And, they get to the bus, I actually bit onto this. I thought the driver was dead, but he wasn't. And then the other sister, you killed my sister. I'm not gonna let you get away. And then she kills the driver. And then she runs over her, which we don't see it. You missed me. She backs over her, still don't see it. Runs over her again, still don't see it. We cut to 1 year later. And this one kind of frustrated me here, okay? It's 1 year later. And they're not wearing black uniforms for some reason. There's a bunch of new cheer things. Why did we cut to a year later? I guess they'd have to reorganize and get the new. So now it's 2023 cheer thing. Which, wouldn't it be 2024? Because if they're training for the upcoming, this would be, it's Halloween, right? And the cheer thing would be, I'm confused. Because their cheer thing, it wouldn't be a year. The cheer thing, aren't the cheer things like the, I guess it would be like winter, there would be the things. Maybe they didn't have that year, so it's the next year. 1 year later, they win, of course, the thing, because they're good, and then they cut the audience, and the principal is sitting there, and I went, no, did none of them tell the police what happened? I'm sure that they had to call the police to let them know what happened there, and did they not explain to the police it was the daughters of the principal who trained them to go after and get revenge? Why is this bitch not in prison? Are you kidding me? Now, you can sit there and go, oh, but Scotty, they don't believe a bunch of teenage girls. Come on. You have 5 witnesses who heard and saw this. By the way, the cheer or die thing was a little game, which everyone really passes. Abby doesn't get to do anything because she's got the blade in the back of her thing. But, I don't know. This was fine. But I'm still gonna say it's not worth your time. It was a fine watch. I'll probably never watch it again, unless I want to, I don't know. I can show this to my son. He wouldn't know what an eggplant or taco means, but maybe when he's older. PG-13. He was PG-13. I don't know. He probably won't be into it, but like, it's just stupid fun, right? But it's not worth your time. Maybe in middle of the road. I don't know, but I'm going to say it's not worth your time. I have adjusted my schedule. Changed some things around. But Not that you're gonna know, because I already shot a preview video, but I deleted it because I changed things around so much that I'm going to just reshoot the video eventually. So, what are your thoughts on bringing on Cheer or Die? In the comments below, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. I can't believe I sat here for over 25 minutes talking about this damn movie. I thought it would be one of the short ones, but I guess not. Huh? Thank you for watching. I've been Scotty, and I'll see you in the next one.